Hello, hello, welcome. Welcome to Sacred Wealth Live. I am thrilled to be with you here today, and I want to bring you the energy of the new moon today. So again, I'm thrilled that you're here. Type in the chat, say hello, tell me where you are here from, where you're located. Throw me some hearts, let me know that you can hear me loud and clear here. So I am so looking forward to getting you up to speed with what the energy is currently so that you can make the best use of it. So again, as you're hopping on here, I'm really thrilled to be with you. And if you're watching this on the replay as well, go ahead and let me know, where are you watching from and your biggest ahas and takeaways as I bring you this energy update today. So it's always my intention to really bring you the practical energy, like really practicality is so important. And it's really a lot of the message today as far as this new moon goes, because you are going to really need to open up to a new level of forward momentum. Let's face it, we have had, the energy has been intense. It's been chaotic. I know for me, it's been hard to get a lot done that I've wanted to get done. We're seeing a lot of people in the world right now just dealing with so much with the weather, with so much fallout that feels like so beyond our control. And I think that's one of the things that's really been up for all of us. Like, what are we even in control of? And what are we not in control of? Well, there's a lot that we're not in control of. There's a huge amount that we're not in control of. And so, there might be that grasping for anything you feel like you can control. I know for myself, as far as forward momentum goes, which is what this new moon is bringing in Virgo, with the practicality of where Mercury is in a planetary exchange. I won't geek out on you too much, but this energy has been really hard to get things going and to move forward. And I know that it's taken extra time, energy, and work to attend to the details that it takes, all the many moving parts to get whatever's the next project in your business, in your movement, in your work in the world, in your life, moving forward. And then if you're someone who's been dealing with one of the many disasters that we've had that feel so out of control and out of your control, then, you've had things put on hold or maybe really have had to abandon plan or abandon ship in a big way. So, I want to just let you know, with this new moon, where Mercury is coming to a place where it's in a planetary exchange, and it's coming to a place where we can now get down to the practicalities and the details that it does take to move some things forward. Now, with that, again, and I want to and we'll take a moment today to really extend our love, our healing energy out to all those who need that. We've got the hurricanes, we've had the earthquakes, and more. So counting your blessings for what you do have is so incredibly important. But where this new moon is in Virgo in Vedic astrology as well, it is really highlighting all the energies of Virgo, which not only are, getting into the details of things and the practicality, but are very much around service and healing. And this is an incredibly sensitive placement. So you might be feeling emotions might be high, and especially with where the nodes of the moon are going as well. But emotions you might be feeling more sensitive or emotional. And I want to invite you to bring your sensitivity to just notice, your intuition works through your body, through how you feel and your sensitivity. So you might be really extra sensitive to things right now and through the next month. And that can be really good as far as your intuition, tapping into things, feeling things coming before they actually get here, knowing if something's a big yes for you, yay, or it's a no, and really knowing which one it is for you. So that sensitivity can be really helpful. It can also be really inconvenient. Let's face it. I'm incredibly sensitive. You can be over emotional, and that can be really inconvenient or just make you feel super vulnerable. Well, there's a great strength in vulnerability, a really big strength in vulnerability, because what vulnerability really means is that you're actually open. You're open. But knowing that this is also, more of a sensitive time, even though it's more of a practical time. Virgo is a very interesting constellation in that way, that you take care of yourself and your energy as far as your sensitivities go, so that you make sure you're doing your self-care. You make sure that you are tuned in and aligned, and that's the first and foremost that we should be doing every day, is the more that you're in alignment with the source of your being through whatever your practices are. Mine are personally through meditation, through getting grounded in my body, through yoga, through dance, through hiking, just being out in nature. Whatever your practices are, it's so incredibly important for you to stay aligned. This is a lifelong thing. This is a lifelong practice. So I'm going to pause for a moment. Hey, if you just hopped on, welcome. So glad that you're here. Say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And also, I'll answer questions today. And even if you're watching the replay, I'll come back and look at your notes. So type in any questions that you have today. And I'm totally here for you and want to get your questions answered. So let me know you're here. Throw me some hearts. Anything of this that speaks to you, you'll want to share this around so other people can make good use of this information, because I want to bring it down to the practical for you. So I've been talking about sensitivity, and you want to take care of your sensitivity and your vulnerability, so that you can actually really show up and shine and do what you've come here to do as far as your mission goes. So awesome. Hi, Anne. So great that you're here. Benita, wonderful to see you too. Hi, welcome. Great. So with this energy on the new moon around sensitivity, make sure that you are taking care of your alignment first, which is always just great advice. Look, if everybody in the world is taking care of themselves and being aligned and making really conscious choices and in full integrity with, yourself and the people around you, we really have then most of what we need to have taken care of in the world. That's not what's going on. So those of us who are consciously paying attention to our integrity, we want to keep ramping that up so that we have even more of effect. It's needed more than ever. So forward momentum. I know you want to get things going. I know that it's been a turbulent time. There's been a lot going on. So in order to do that, we've got to focus on some of those finer details, the minutia. I know that I have a project going on right now, and I have something, it's something juicy and wonderful to help you with your intuition, and especially with your intuition as an entrepreneur and really using your intuition. And there'll be more coming up about that next week. So I've got something for you that'll be totally free, and for you to jump in and really learn how to trust your intuition in your business, in your movement, in your purpose in the world in a really big way. Well, and to put this together, I've got a lot of details. There's the back end details, there's the tech details. And this last week, it's been slow as far as those details go, or it seems like as I get into one detail, then there's 5 others that open up that may or may not be related. There's just been sort of this log jam around details. One of my clients who's putting on an amazing event, Tanya, she's the Alpha Woman Success Academy summit that she's putting on, and she's had a bunch of tech issues. This is normal for what we've been going through. But what I want to say now is that the energy is shifting with this new moon. Hi, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Go ahead and tell me where you're tuning in from, okay? And if you have any questions, be sure to post them, and I'm going to check in with questions here in just a few minutes, okay? So as far as these details go, what this new moon in Virgo, one of the aspects that it's really honing in on for us is the management of our power down through the finer details of things. So we can get into our big vision and what it is that we want to create. And then, well, it takes all those inner workings and those finer details to happen in order to put something fully into motion. Now, there are a lot of those details sometimes can magically happen, but let's face it, they don't all magically happen. You actually have to do them, or you have to delegate them, or you have to delete them. And those are the three things I want you to remember as far as the details you have on your plate right now with whatever your number one project is. What is it that's really crucial that you do? What can you delegate? And then the third thing is, what do you just need to delete? You don't even need to do it, okay? Because sometimes we get mired in the minutia of things, and it's kind of one of our self-sabotaging ways. We get mired in the minutia of things so that we stress ourselves out, or we don't actually get it done. Like, for instance, one of the practical tools I use is I do get up early in the morning. I focus on what's important first. I do my alignment practices, and I focus on whatever's really important in moving my business, my movement forward in the world. So in order to do that, the night before, I'm really organized, and I know exactly what I'm doing the next day. I don't just know it. I actually write it on a sticky note, and it's right on my keyboard. I don't get distracted. I go right into that because there's so many details coming at you in a day. Why the energy now is shifting to help you so much with the details that are coming in is that, Virgo wants to organize things and wants to bring it down to the practical nature of things. Now, this is going to ramp up even more as we get to the 25th, because Mercury will move into Virgo, but it's in a dynamic we call a Parivatana. It's a planetary exchange right now. And that exchange is helping to lift this energy. And where the new moon is in Virgo, it is asking us to manage our power at the level of detail. So we've been really in this Leo energy with this Leo eclipse that we had, this new lots of energy coming in, lots of downloads happening. So when you see me do that, it's like I have to slow down the feed that's coming in and then ask it to come slower so that I can actually get it through my brain and out through my mouth, okay? That's what happens when I channel. So thanks for your patience here. We have been looking at power, and like last week, and if you didn't catch the last episode last week around using your authentic leadership, then go ahead and watch that after this. We've been learning and being asked to understand how we are managing power, how we perceive it, and how we manage it, because there's a lot of misuse of power going on. That's not going away. We're still looking at that. But now this new moon's asking us to look at how do we manage our power of our queendom, our kingdom, whether that's your life, your business, a particular project, how we manage that down into the nitty gritty, down into the finer details. We can't stay in the big vision forever. If we don't have a way to take the bigger vision of the energy and filter it down into the finer aspects of things, just like, for instance, we've got a tree, right? Okay, so we've got the leaves are at the finer end of the details, and then we've got, the roots, and that's where the tree is tapped into the energy. But in order to nourish those finer details, we have to have, number one, really clear vision. Okay, so the roots have to be well fed so that sap can run up and down to those leaves, to that fruit that it grows. We also need to have a clear pathway to focusing on what we personally need to focus on, what's most important for us personally. Now, what's most important for you to focus on, again, that's why it's so important to come back to this. What is it that I need to do? That's why I have that number one thing written on my sticky note every morning. What's the what do I need to delegate? Who can I give that to in my queendom, in my kingdom? And what is it that I just need to delete? What is it that I just need to delete? I think I need to do it. Like when I used to pack for a trip, I'm so much better now, but I used to pack for a trip. Before I would pack, I'm a list maker. I have an ascendant in Virgo. I'd make my list. Not only would what I need to take with me go on my list or what the immediate chores I needed to do, but then there was the things that I thought I needed to do in order to just be completely ready, which might mean cleaning out a drawer or running some odd errand that really could wait till I get back. I'd put all this other stuff. And then I finally looked at and let myself just do that. And then I would go through that list. And what I was really going to do, I'd move over to the right-hand column. I would delegate some of it. And then I would cross out at least 2/3 of that list. I would just delete it. There's so much we don't need to put our attention on. So what I want you to get clear on today is what are the details in whatever you're working on that is going to bring the forward momentum that you're craving right now, that you really want to get, that you want to have, okay? So I'm going to take you through a process around focusing in on what those details are here in just a moment. I want to check in with your questions and comments here if you have any questions for me. And I'm feeling log jammed with tech details as I launch my own online course next week. Can you speak of the Chiron-Saturn alignment in this lunar cycle? Okay. And absolutely, there has been an absolute logjam. So I am talking from Vedic astrology. The Saturn aspect, Saturn has been in retrograde. That has been slowing all of us down. But actually, even more than that, Saturn has been in a place of what we call Gandanta, and so has the nodes of the moon. And these are the liminal places in between fire and water. Now, we're also having this fire and water aspect played out through the weather, through the hurricanes, through the disasters that are happening now. That's not going to let up fully until we get into November, but it's incrementally letting up as we speak, okay? So as far as that particular asset and feeling that logjam of details, what I want to encourage you is using the energy of this new moon with the practice that I'm going to give you right now, and to actually focus in on the one thing you need to do. Now, I get it. The tech stuff has been a disaster. I totally get that, okay? So yes, you need to have a good tech team. Yes, you need to have your everything backed up and all of those things. But again, one of the things that causes a logjam is having too many things in the chute at one time. That's why it's so important to, again, focus, to line things up so that you're just focusing on one thing and then the other. And I totally hear you that sometimes when you're dealing with tech, it's not that easy. There's a lot there's a big confluence of things, okay? So let me take you through this practice to help you, because now with Mercury, Mercury's gone direct. And Mercury, so likes to have things in order and in flow. So a logjam doesn't really serve Mercury, and where this moon is really going to help you get those details moving forward. And let me just check in. Okay, Mary, I see that you've popped in, and Mary, your sister's just gone into birth. Oh, with live feet. Wow. Okay, well, congratulations on that. But also, Mary, maybe it's not you. I know that there's some of you that are dealing with the earthquake in Mexico, and I'm going to spend a few moments on that as we get into the end here. So anybody else who has any questions, make sure you go ahead and put them there. If anything I'm saying is resonating for you, throw some hearts. And again, you'll want to share this around so other people have this. And I want to take you into this practice here to help you get absolutely crystal clear for yourself on how to move the details down through your kingdom, okay? So I want you to, I'm always about alignment from the inside out. In fact, that's underneath everything I do. That is my biggest why. I have this vision that all of us are completely connected to our soul blueprint and really aligned with our own purpose and prosperity, the best of ourselves. And underneath everything, I'm here to really help you to live from the inside out, to really live from the inside out. There's way too much coming at us from the outside in. And when we run our businesses and we run our movement in the world, we run our careers, we run our families, we run our choices from the inside out with integrity through the heart, then, the world is a much different place in the way we perceive it and what we are creating, even if the rest of the world hasn't caught up with us yet. It's one of the greatest services we can do. So here's your practical practice. I want you to close your eyes and put your hand on your heart. Take a deep, full breath. And as you breathe in and out through your heart, I'm just bringing that mind and that heart into coherence. The Heart Math Institute and many others have done great research on this, but we don't need science to tell us what's spiritually true and what our hearts know. This is where we navigate from. You need to own all of your power and not let it be diffused in everything else that's going on right now, so that you can be a part of the shift and the change that you are so passionate about. So take a deep breath into your heart. And I want to invite you to bring into your awareness, or ask your heart, what's the number one project that I have right now? Whether it is, creating your online course, or whether it is just something that you need to get done. What is the number one priority project you have right now? Just let that come into your awareness. And then take a look at this project internally here for a moment. It's got several moving parts probably to it. And out of everything that needs to happen within your project, let's tune in not to the mind, but the heart. What's the number one thing that I need to focus on first? Number one thing I need to focus on first. So drop that into your heart. And it may or may not be the part that you think that it should be. What's the number one thing you need to focus on first? Great. Now that you've got that, I want you to open your eyes, and I want you just to do a stream of consciousness. You can just write down, what are the details that need to be done? What are the details that need to be done? Just take the next 30 seconds and just write those down. Just write those down. We need to get absolutely clear. We need to get clear on really what your next steps are. So we've taken it down from the big vision to the number one thing. And then now we're going into all the details that are part of the number one part of this project. Okay, keep writing any of those details. Okay. Don't worry if there's more details or you're not exactly sure. You can keep using this process, okay? Then I want you to look at your list. And I want you to look what's on that list that is absolutely crucial that you do. What's crucial on that list? Well, you're going to circle the things that you need to do that absolutely no one else can do but you. Circle those things first. Then I want you to put a star by the things that somebody else could do, that you can delegate, even if you don't know who, or you think it's too much money or any of that. Just put a star by the things that you could delegate to someone else. You have to get out of your head about this. I've had to really, I can do too many things. So I've really had to be just really strong with myself and keeping really clear boundaries on what is mine to do. How can I stay in my gifts and my brilliance? And that's what I teach all of my clients, is stay in the zone of your high value gifts. That's how you make a bigger difference. And that's how also the world recognizes you for the difference that you're making. That's part of what your sacred wealth code gives you, what your gifts are. Those things that someone can help you with, they have a star by them. And now I want you to go through and I want you to draw a line through everything that's really not necessary. Just delete it. Delete it right now. Just draw a line through it. It may become relevant at another point, but give yourself some clear space to work with. Part of managing our power is not getting, not getting stuck by spinning or focusing on the wrong things. And that has to come from alignment first. Okay, so now it's clear to you the part of your greater vision, just the project that you're working on, and what part of it. So we've taken it down. So we're taking it down through the levels of minutia here, okay, down into the finer details and the things that you need to do. And then go ahead and put the priority to the things that you need to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, in the order that you need to. Go through the list and the things that you're going to delegate. Tune into your heart. And who could help me with this? Who could help me with this? You have to ask your heart, because your heart is the doorway into your soul, into your greater knowing. And you can't leave that all to your head, because your head will stay stuck in minutiae and details. And you don't want to stay stuck in minutiae and details. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. Hey, Karen. Hey, Alexandra, welcome, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Any of this that you missed, you can always catch on the replay. If you have any questions for me about what I'm talking about now, about managing our power down through the details of things, you can't run a great queendom, you can't run a great kingdom without actually delegating and moving the energy from your vision all the way down into practicality, into real practical form. So that's the process we've been talking about, really understanding the number one thing you need to focus on within your project right now. The energy is behind you to help you sort through the details much better, and to also realize what's yours to do, and then also what you can delegate. And if you don't know who you can delegate to, you just ask your heart, who can I delegate this to? You must stay in your gifts to be fully effective. You must stay in your gifts in order to be recognized as the highest value you have in the world. And then the final step is just deleting anything that's not yours to do, not yours to do. So I'm totally open to any questions you have. I want to finish up our conversation today. Actually, I'd love to see any of you post what it is that you have. What's your big takeaway from this? What are you going to focus on? What are you noticing about what's just yours to focus on? What are you able to delete or delegate that you didn't think you could? Write in the comments any of those that will help to inspire others also, maybe, and push them along in the way that they need to, so that they can open up to delegating more than they think they can, or even deleting more than you think you can. Because here's the thing, when you're saying no to something, you're saying yes to something else. You're saying yes to something else. So with this energy that we have going on as well, so the new moon's going to help you with your forward momentum if you go ahead and organize the details and stay in your gifts and focusing on what's yours to do. So use that model that I gave you. What you need to do, 100%, your energy can only do it. Delegate. That gives someone else an opportunity to use their gifts. And the third is to delete what is not yours to do. That's like, I've always had to delete all the things that I think need to be done, because I like it all handled, organized, and taken care of. But in truth, to get done what I need to get done, all those details don't always have to happen all at once. So you've got to manage it. This is managing your power, managing your energy, managing your vision down into the details. If you have a kingdom or a queendom, the vision's not going to do much just sitting there. You've got to trickle it all the way down through your kingdom and queendom, through your business, through your project, through your team, okay, through your family, in order to move things forward. So we are still dealing with this chaotic energy. I mean, we've got hurricanes still brewing. We have people dealing with the disaster that's happened to them. We have, in Mexico, we've had the earthquake that just happened. This energy is still, that chaotic energy is still afoot. It's going to be here because when I relate it to the planets, we've still got to deal with this energy here really through October, although it's cleaning up as we go. We still have this energy at play. We really need to get past the 25th of September to feel the first big shift in that energy, okay? And then we're going to start to to see it gradually clean up as these planets shift. What this is all bringing about is absolutely a lot of chaos. It's bringing about not only chaos, but a lot of destruction. It has to do with heat and water, and everything that heat and fire and water are emotionally connected to in us. So water is very much of our emotions. It's a very emotional time. And we want to make really good use of our emotions. We can choose how we feel, and then there's the reactionary ways that we feel. Emotion is energy in motion. That's why we want to have compassion for those who are feeling the stress and the trauma of some of what's going on more than we are. And we also want to not get stuck in creating more fear by feeling bad for them. So we want to have compassion, tap in. Is there something I'm to do to get practical about? Do I need to send money? Do I need to go help? Do I need to pray? Do I need to call somebody? Do I need to be, in being informed, make sure you're not just plugging into the fear-based media. Make sure that you're being informed by sources that are giving you the real information. So then you can ask, okay, what's mine to help with here? What's mine to do here? So if this is resonating for you, throw me some hearts. Let me know you're listening. Tell me what's resonating for you out of what I say, because there's a piece of it that each and every one of us can do. Now, your prayers are felt. Your prayers are felt. Praying for those in need right now is one of the best things that you can do. But remember, when you do pray, that you want to be in alignment. You want to come into your heart. You want to open up to that greater energy. You want to see that flow through them and support them in the ways that they need it, whoever it is you're praying for, where you're praying for the earth and its healing. Remember to be that channel of light that you are. You are a light worker. We're all light workers. How are we managing our light? How are we managing our light? So also with this fire part of this, fire can be incredibly inspirational. Fire can be incredibly destructive. I live in Washington State. We've had fires, big fires burning, and finally we've got rain. Oh, thank God for the rain. And I'm usually, gosh, would the rain stop already? But really, really grateful for the rain right now. And still, there's one fire they're not predicting that's going to end until the middle of October. They'll have it fully contained. So fire can be incredibly destructive. People have been evacuated. Fires in British Columbia, California, all over, Oregon, and more. I'm sure I'm not naming all the places. Can be incredibly destructive. You want to stay out of where that fire can move through you and be destructive. Some of the ways that might happen are through your words, through your thoughts, through your reactions. Usually fire is very very reactive. So be careful about being reactive. Be really careful about that. Breathe. Think about what you're going to say before you say it. Stay out of that place of being reactive. And if you feel reactive, just like we don't want a fire to combust too much, step back for a moment. Take a few breaths. Come back to center. Come back to alignment, which might mean removing yourself from a situation to get clear. Hey, Anne, I'm so glad that you're here. Glad to see you jumping on. And then the other part of the fire piece on the inspiration, great inspiration can come through. So you want to be open to that inspiration. How can I help? How can I serve during this time? I know that if you're here listening with me, you are a light worker in your own way. You are on a big mission in the world. You have a change that you're creating. And whether that's through your business or whatever, you have some kind of movement or you wouldn't be here. Well, what's the inspiration with what you're seeing is needed in the world that you can come in with service and provide? With service and provide. That might be the service of your good thoughts, your good intentions, your prayers. That might be the service that comes right through your business. What's the service that you can actually provide? What's the inspiration coming through around that? And then to back up to the other side of the other end of fire that we need to be careful about is that it's a very, it's a martial energy with where Mars is. And that's, that's war and destruction as well. So you can see that show up in little ways in your own life, just in internal fights with yourself and with others. What are you pushing against? What are you in resistance to? Relax the resistance. get in alignment with what you're for instead of what you're against. That's the best use of your energy. Even we're seeing a lot of, things we're not for happening on the planet, and in the way power is managed, your power well. And that's what this has all been about today. This new moon is opening up for you in a new way. And don't push against what you're not in alignment with. Instead, be informed by it. And how can you use your alignment to move what you are for forward? So if anyone has any questions, hey Kiki, great to see you here too. Just wrapping up, the replay will be fully available. Share this with others so that they can help use their energy the best way they can. If you have any questions for me, I'll be here for another couple of minutes. Go ahead and type in. I'll be happy to answer your questions. If you would like to speak with me about how you can better manage your energy, how you can discover your gifts so that you can stay in alignment with that percentage, that small percentage that's just here for you to do on the do it, delegate it, or delete it list, then feel free to private message me. I have a really awesome program, the Sacred Wealth Business Academy, that helps you to create business from the inside out, move your mission and movement out in the world. And I'd be happy to talk to you about that opportunity. You just would need to PM me for that, and I'll send you an application. If it's a great fit for you, I'll invite you in, you and I'll have a conversation. And meanwhile, if you're wanting to know more about your gifts, I'm going to put the link to the Sacred Wealth Code Archetype quiz in the chat here, and that link will get you into the free quiz. It's just a free quiz that will help you to identify one of your archetypes, one of your Sacred Wealth Code archetypes. There's more about that in my book, and it will also help you to understand what some of your gifts are, and also where you are stuck in the shadow as well. So much love to you. Use this energy again to get down into the details. There's forward momentum that can happen, but you're going to have to delete some things. You're going to have to be really focused, but the energy is supporting you in focusing. Share this so that other people can have this great information as well. And so much love to all of you. Again, if you're watching the replay, I'll come back and look at your questions, and I will help with your questions as well. Okay, and so much love. I'll be here every Wednesday on Facebook Live here, the Sacred Wealth Live Show, and you'll see me popping in more and more in between times because there's so much happening and so much that I want to help you with. All right, namaste, blessings to all of you, so much love. Have a beautiful day.